Hi, I'm Craig Greening from the Horizon Hobby development team. I'm here with Ali Mashinchi, who's a senior product developer for Hangar 9. We're excited to show you the UltraStick 30cc from Hangar 9. Ali, what can you tell us about the model?
It's substantially different to the previous UltraSticks that Hangar 9 have made. The easiest way to distinguish that would be by its size. It's larger. Larger in span, larger in area, of course. Also larger in control surface area and deflections. Idea being we wanted to give an aeroplane that was as versatile as possible. I think a lot of people are familiar with the UltraStick design, and versatility is probably its best feature.
Ali, I actually had one of the previous versions, which was the UltraStick Lite. I know a lot of customers enjoyed that. It had a one-piece wing. How about transport on a model like this? Is it the same wing design? And how about fitting it into your average vehicle?
Yeah, we're trying to be very mindful of that, Craig, and in making giant scale models for everybody. We understand that not everybody's got a big SUV, and whilst a one-piece wing of this size would fit happily into a monster truck, we wanted to make an aeroplane that would pack down and fit into a compact car. So it's a two-piece wing, wing joiner tube with wing bolts through the top and dowels at the front.
How about tools? Do I need any special tools for assembly?
Again, no. We want to make it so it's as quick and easy to rig at the field as possible. So there are thumb screws on the wing retention bolts here and here. If you choose to use the bolt for the battery access, you can actually do that by hand as well. So it's completely manageable without any tools.
Okay, and I see a four-surface wing here. How many servos do I need for the model? And I presume flaps come standard?
Yeah, correct. It's set up for a quad wing configuration. A servo per surface, it was my intention. The elevators are set up with a single servo per side. You can have them in two locations. You can have them either in the center of the fuselage hidden or externally mounted at the back here. But everything else in total, if you go with the electric setup like this, it is 7 servos or 8 if you choose to go IC.
Okay, and what's the reason for the different servo locations for the tail? I noticed one of the other models has them rear mounted.
Correct, yeah. We wanted to make it so that those that were choosing to fly from water could have them internally mounted. I know some people are concerned about having exposure to the water, the rear mounted servos. Also for those using the heavier power plants, by moving the servos to the back end here, we can alter the center of gravity quite a fair bit to counter a heavier engine if you choose to.
Okay, speaking of engines, I noticed some interesting power plants here. What does the model come out of the box set up to use, and what other options do we have for a customer who has a range of engines perhaps in their workshop?
Okay, again, versatility being the name of the game with this particular aircraft. We wanted to set it up so it'd work with a whole bunch of different engines. You see here we've got the Evolution 33 over there. This is the E-flite electric setup, and just for fun we fitted the Saito 60cc 3-cylinder radial. Gives you an indication of how versatile and wide a band of power this plane will take. Out of the box, it comes set with this really cool engine template that slides over the front of the plane that has mounting holes for the E-flite electric setup, Evo 33cc petrol, and also the Saito.
Okay, and who would be the right kind of customer for this? Who's going to enjoy flying the model?
I hope everyone. That was one of my goals with this aircraft. I wanted an airplane that I could enjoy flying. I could fly around in 3D and aerobat around, but at the same time give the same airplane to like my dad to fly, just as a sport, beta, hack model, winter model, whatever you want to call it. So okay. Anyone.
Ali, I really enjoy flying off the water, and I know a lot of our customers do too. What's involved in getting the model float ready?
Wanted to make that as quick and easy as possible, not only ready but also adaptable so you can transfer from floats to land base very quickly. So with that in mind, I have the screws and mounting points already fitted to the fuselage, covered over, so if you choose to fly from land you won't have the bolts exposed. Okay. But if you want to fit the floats, it's about a 25-minute job just to poke the holes, rig the floats and bolt them on.
Okay, and these are Hangar 9 floats, right? These look like the ones that are recommended for the Carbon Cub?
It's a 1/5 scale float set, yeah, with a slight amendment with the different strut set specifically designed for the UltraStick so it sits at the correct angle. We did a fair bit of testing in order to get the right angle of attack so it comes off the water really quite smoothly and easily. We did a float video which hopefully should go online around about the time you're seeing this. Had a real blast flying this alongside a speedboat, aerobatting it, 3Ding it, and just generally having fun off water.
Okay, speaking of 3D, the previous version wasn't particularly capable of that kind of performance, somewhat because of the control surfaces you mentioned. But if I'm fitting the model out with that in mind, do I need special servos, or do standard servos do the job?
Standard is what we recommend, which is the Spectrum 6180s. They're a digital servo, not high voltage, not super high torque, and that gives the aeroplane full 3D flight capabilities. I can prop hang, torque roll, Harrier, inverted Harrier, some snap maneuvers, all of that on exactly stock setup.
So on the electric setup, Ali, what speed control is needed for the model, and then what battery setup have you been using?
We set it up with what we call a stock E-flite setup. So we have an E-flite 160 motor with a Castle 120 speed controller. It will fly on anything from 8 to 12S. We don't recommend 12S for that particular motor, but we have tested it with 12. The best setup for me seems to be the 10S 4400 milliamp.
Okay, and that's a pretty conventional setup for a lot of people, I think, these days. And what kind of flight times are you looking at with that setup?
Depending how you fly it, I've obviously got 2 packs of 4000s and 5000s. Doing a hardcore 3D flight with it, I'd get around about 7 minutes. But with sport flying, I was pushing that up to about 11 minutes.
Okay, it's a good amount of flight time. Back to the 3D for a minute. Do you want to show us the control deflection? I think I've seen you playing with the Crow settings.
Yeah, that's the beauty and the fun parts of a 4-servo wing. You have quite a few different options. You can set it up as a stock aeroplane per se, so you have just the ailerons working as ailerons and the flaps if you want them working as flaps. You can have a quad aileron setup, so you can have the whole trailing edge operating as aileron to give an incredible roll rate.
Okay.
Really, really agile. You can use what you mentioned, which is Crow, which is amazing for slowing the airplane down. So where we use full flap, big deflections of around about 75 degrees, and then to increase the drag even more, we introduce an upward moving aileron. So you get huge amounts of braking force. Another mix that I've been playing with is elevator to flap, so to improve the agility of the plane. So it's turning circle, it's looping circle. When I apply up elevator, I can mix down flap, which makes the turning circle incredible. It can loop within its own distance, if you like.
Sounds like a lot of fun. All right, and Ali, tell us about the price.
Yeah, we're really pleased with that aspect. We've been able to offer an 81-inch Ultra Coat covered aeroplane like this, very, very ARTF, at an amazing price of $299.
It's a great value for a big model, and I know a lot of people enjoy going to what are still called giant scale events, and a model like this, even though not scale, is still what they would traditionally be called giant scale eligible. Folks, thanks for watching this preview of the Hangar 9 UltraStick 30cc with Ali and myself. The airplane will be available in your local hobby shop. You can also order directly from horizonhobby.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the flying field.